Okay, there are many variations that we do after a lob. Remember that every time you play a lob, you are supposed to change your position a little bit as moving closer to the line. There are many reasons why you need to do this, but the main one is that you gotta be ready for when the player changes the pace with the overhead, which is probably one of the shots where the opponent might change the pace to a very high pace. You are gonna be able to chase the ball after the glass and counter attack, or at least keep the ball in play. Now, after say this, that we will assume that every time you play a lob, you are gonna get closer to the line. Also, because when you play a lob, your lob pushes the player, yes? It takes the player at least to the line. So it's your time to start hoping or to start thinking about progressing forward. Yeah, so you are starting to be from a defensive position to progress into a more offensive position. Yes, but of course, if the overhead of the opponent is difficult, you're going to have to keep defending. So how can you defend better? If we play the lob straight, the position again is going to be closer to the line, but you don't need to be in the corner, right? Because if this is the player that has the ball, then I want to be more aware of the middle. I want to open a little bit my line. Why? Because it's an easy shot. It's basically down the line. So then there is no problem if I cover a little bit more court. Now, when the lob is cross court, that is when problems and things get a little bit difficult. Yes? So if I connect my lob cross court, I'm going to change my position closer to the line and always a little bit more towards the side. Basically, why this position? I'm going to put a mark here so we don't forget it. This position is the idea that we are selling here is that we are not going to let the ball touch the sidewall unless I choose to use the sidewall. But I got to be positioned in a way that if I want to anticipate this ball or I want to approach, yes, because the ball is coming in that area and in my approaching line, then I'm able to do so. If I don't move forward, guys, every ball that goes there is going to touch the sidewall, it's going to push me away, it's going to become very difficult to defend. So remember, if you can avoid using this glass, it's a very good defensive choice and position you are using. Now, when you take this position, you might be wondering why I leave that open. Well, that's what I hope my opponent will think. I'm trying to invite my opponent to play in that big area. Mainly because if the shot that my opponent is playing is coming cross court, that ball after the rebound is going to come to me. Yes? So there is no problem if I invite the opponent to play in that area. Then if he plays a little bit more precise in that same area, my partner should be able to help me as well. Okay? The third position is if I play somebody more advanced probably, that has, for example, the rulo, yes, which is a shot that goes a lot to the fence, or the player starts playing a little bit more in front of me, I will have to sometimes provoke the player, we say. By provoking, I mean that if the player is hurting me by playing to the fence, I'm going to start covering this area. If the player plays through me, I will probably volley and block. If the player tries to play shorter, I will try to anticipate that fence. And if the player plays away from me, two choices will happen. Your partner might help you, of course, if the ball is not this far. And if the ball is more in the middle, my side, I will be able to recover and probably put the player in that same position. Yes, so basically by using these positions, you should be able to defend better. Okay, so apply this, let me know how it goes.